Embark on an exploration of Anaximenes, the last significant philosopher of the Milesian school. As a pupil of Anaximenes contributed to the Milesian endeavor to understand the universe's fundamental nature. Situated in Miletus, a hub of intellectual activity in ancient Ionia, Anaximenes developed his theories amidst a thriving culture of philosophical inquiry. Anaximenes, diverging from his mentor's abstract concept of the apparent, proposed a more tangible element, air, as the primary substance of all existence. His philosophical stance represented a critical shift towards identifying a specific, observable element as the source of everything in the universe. This approach not only made his theories more accessible but also more directly relatable to human experience and observation. While Anaximenes' ideas were rooted in Milesian thought, his unique perspective on air as the essential substance marked a significant contribution to early Greek philosophy. He posited that through processes of thinning and thickening, air transforms into various forms, a concept that brought a new understanding of change and transformation in nature. Anaximenes' legacy as the last of the Milesian philosophers is crucial in understanding the progression of pre-Socratic thought. His work bridged the gap between mythological interpretations of the cosmos and a more rational, observational approach, laying the groundwork for subsequent philosophical and scientific explorations. Continuing from our introduction to Anaximenes, this section delves into his groundbreaking assertion that air is the primary substance of the universe. Contrasting with Anaximander' indefinite apparent and Thales' water, Anaximenes' theory of air offered a more tangible and observable foundation for the cosmos. He proposed that air, ever present and essential for life, transforms into various forms through processes of condensation and rarefaction, explaining the diversity of the natural world. Anaximenes' concept of air as the fundamental element was significant in its simplicity and observability. He believed that by thinning, air becomes fire, and by thickening, it turns into wind, then clouds, and further condenses into water, earth, and ultimately stone. This transformative process presented a dynamic and continuous cycle of change, portraying the universe as a living entity undergoing constant metamorphosis. His focus on air bridged the philosophical gap between a tangible world and the abstract principles governing it. Anaximenes' theory represented an early form of materialism, suggesting that the diversity of the natural world could be explained through the transformation of a single, underlying substance. This idea was a step towards a more empirical approach in understanding nature, emphasizing the role of observable phenomena in philosophical inquiry. Anaximenes' doctrine of air laid the foundation for later philosophical and scientific explorations into the nature of matter and change. By positing air as the primary substance, he contributed to the ongoing quest to understand the underlying principles of the universe, influencing subsequent generations of thinkers in their pursuit of knowledge. Building upon Anaximenes' theory of air as the primary substance, this section explores his broader contributions to natural philosophy. Anaximenes applied his air-centric worldview to explain various natural phenomena, pioneering an approach that combined observation with philosophical speculation. His explanations, grounded in the properties of air, sought to account for everything from meteorological occurrences to the physical characteristics of the Earth. Anaximenes' natural philosophy was marked by a shift towards observational science. He theorized that the Earth was flat and floated on air, similar to how a leaf floats on water. This analogy, while rudimentary by modern standards, represented an attempt to rationalize celestial and terrestrial phenomena in a coherent framework. He also speculated on the nature of celestial bodies, considering them as composed of condensed air. His insights into the mechanics of weather patterns, like rain and wind, were derived from his understanding of air's transformative properties. Anaximenes proposed that these phenomena resulted from the condensation and rarefaction of air, offering a more tangible explanation than mythological interpretations common in his time. The significance of Anaximenes' contributions lies in his methodological approach, which laid a foundation for later scientific inquiry. By focusing on a single, observable element to explain a range of phenomena, he paved the way for a more systematic exploration of the natural world. His work in natural philosophy not only advanced early Greek thought but also influenced the development of empirical science. Following our exploration of Anaximenes' contributions to natural philosophy, this section examines his lasting influence on subsequent philosophical thought. Anaximenes' ideas, particularly his theory of air as the fundamental element and his observational approach to nature, significantly impacted the development of philosophy. His emphasis on a single, observable substance as the source of all phenomena inspired later thinkers to seek more concrete explanations for the natural world. Anaximenes' concept of air, with its transformative properties, foreshadowed later philosophical and scientific inquiries into the nature of matter and change. His ideas resonated with the atomists, who sought to explain the universe through indivisible particles, and influenced the development of materialistic philosophies. Additionally, his approach to explaining natural phenomena through observable processes laid the groundwork for a more empirical approach to science. The simplicity and accessibility of Anaximenes' theory of air made it a compelling alternative to more abstract explanations of the cosmos. It represented a shift towards a more practical understanding of nature, where philosophical inquiry was grounded in sensory experience and observation. Anaximenes' influence is evident in how later Greek philosophers, including Plato and Aristotle, grappled with the concepts of substance and change. His work contributed to the ongoing philosophical dialogue about the fundamental principles underlying the natural world, shaping the course of Western thought. In concluding our discussion on Anaximenes, this final section highlights the enduring relevance of his ideas in contemporary thought. While ancient in origin, Anaximenes' perspectives on natural phenomena and his theory of air as the fundamental substance offer insights that resonate with modern scientific and philosophical inquiries. His emphasis on observable, tangible elements in explaining the cosmos parallels the empirical methods prevalent in modern science. Anaximenes' approach to understanding the universe through a primary substance like air finds echoes in contemporary discussions about the building blocks of matter, such as atoms and molecules. His ideas contribute to the foundational concepts in physics and chemistry, where the transformation of matter is a key principle. The simplicity and practicality of his approach, focusing on observable change and transformation, align with the scientific method's core principles. Furthermore, Anaximenes' philosophical legacy extends to environmental studies and ecology. His recognition of air's fundamental role in the cosmos and life anticipates modern concerns about air quality, climate change, and the delicate balance of Earth's atmosphere. His work encourages a holistic view of the natural world, where understanding the interplay of elements is crucial to addressing contemporary environmental challenges. Reflecting on Anaximenes' contributions, we find that his philosophical approach, grounded in observation and the search for tangible explanations, continues to be relevant. His legacy lies not only in the specific theories he proposed but also in his methodological approach to understanding the world, an approach that remains a cornerstone of scientific inquiry and philosophical thought.